Welcome to our event, Ditching the Shared Inbox with Jira Service Management, or JSM as we like to call it. My name is Ash Pitt. I'm the Atlassian Practice Manager here at Strategenics, and I'll be hosting your webinar today. And I'm joined today by Yvette Maloney from the University of Notre Dame, Australia. Hi, Yvette.
Hi, Ash. Hi, everyone. Thanks for having me today.
All right, I'm excited about this chat today as we get to talk about your journey of ditching your shared inbox and going to Jira Service Management. I'm excited. Are you excited, Yvette?
Yes, it's been a journey. It's good to share it with some people.
Cool. All right. So before we kick off, just a little bit of housekeeping. So for everybody who's here, amazingly, you've got that already where your mic is on mute while we're talking. We will have opportunity for QA at the end. So you can feel free to turn on your cameras at the end of the webinar for Q&A. We can have a chat. Or if you don't want to and you have questions, feel free to throw those into the chat as well. So now, for those who don't know Strategenics, we have a slide presented. So Strategenics is an Australian-based consultancy. We're located in Queensland, in Australia as well. We're focused on empowering businesses and teams to maximize their potential, leveraging the best technological solutions available. So since we're talking about best technological solutions available, Atlassian is one of them. So we're an Atlassian solution partner. We work with our customers to better manage their work with the Atlassian stack. We also recently won the Atlassian Global Customer Success Solution Partner of the Year Award for 2023. And part of that was attributed to the work that we did with Yvette and the university. But that's enough about us. Don't need to hear that anymore. Yvette, would you like to start by introducing yourself and your role at the University of Notre Dame?
Sure. So I'm Yvette Maloney, and I'm the Associate Director of Business Engagement at the University of Notre Dame. Part of my role is overseeing the payroll operations for our national university. So we are a university that is based on the Catholic tradition, and we have campuses in Fremantle and Broome. Both of those are in Western Australia. We have the campus in Sydney, and then we have a number of satellite campuses as well across regional and rural New South Wales and Victoria. So it's quite a big operation. And as I said, payroll is one of my areas, which is where the inbox and moving to JSM comes into play.
Awesome. Thanks, Yvette. And yes, so to kind of paint that scene for what we're doing today, we're engaged to shift your payroll team out of that inbox and into Jira Service Management with the aim of reducing duplication of effort between your team members, also automating a lot of repetitive processes, and it is actually part of feeding into a larger enterprise service management direction for the university as well. Anywho, that's enough about us. We've got a few questions for you. So let's get into it. So for starters, can you describe the challenges that your payroll team were facing before you partnered with us to build out your solution?
Yeah, so there was sort of 4 key challenges that we had. So we had a shared inbox that we were using for all of our queries, and there was just a lot of emails coming through. It was quite disorganized. Emails are very easy for people to jump in on and reply all to. And so it was really hard to manage that inbox. We also had a heavy reliance on manual processes, coordinating with our HR function manually through things like Excel spreadsheets, and doing a lot of our approvals via email. So we had issues where we were duplicating work. We had errors and inefficiencies in the workflow that we were looking to address.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you. And I guess when you decided to go down the JSM path, what specific goals did you have in mind?
Yeah, so the main thing we wanted to do was streamline our processes and reduce the amount of manual effort that we needed in those processes, as well as just an overall improvement in efficiency. So the goal was to try and have an automated error-resistant system that could then enhance our operational effectiveness and reduce workload for the team.
Yep, excellent. And I guess so. With those goals set in mind, would you be able to walk us through the process, I guess, of implementing this new system with Strategenics and obviously yourself as well?
Yeah, of course. So the implementation started by working with Ash and the team through a rapid discovery phase. So this was where Strategenics took the time to understand what our specific needs were. And then they worked with us to design a custom self-service portal in Jira, which simplified our processes and also allowed for some automation. So they created some rules that allowed, processors to sort of go step by step through an automated flow rather than having to rely on, people remembering or doing it on a checklist. So we had some rapid planning sessions with the team, and then we really relied on their expertise on the system, but collaborated with them throughout that process to get a tool that worked for what we needed.
And so, speaking of the tool and what you needed, what were some of the key features of the service management portal that were required from yourself?
Yeah, of course. So some of them were having intuitive issue request types and workflows so that both the team and our customers could use them without too much training required. We had a lot of automated notifications coming through, and it also allowed for improved triaging of the various requests. So we could expedite particular issues and making sure that they were getting resolved within a certain amount of time. We can keep employees informed real time of where we're up to with actually dealing with their queries, as well as boosting our workflow efficiency as we navigate through the individual tickets that come through.
Cool. Thanks, Yvette. We also had a bit of a time constraint on that as well, right? It was just before Christmas last year. So we had to really go, right, what's the MVP, the minimum viable product? So we kind of took that approach on board. How did that approach contribute to the success of where you are today with that portal?
Yeah, so the MVP approach was really crucial for us because it allowed us to get the new system up into production really quickly. So it was about a 6-week period that we went from woe to go on this one. And the rapid deployment meant that we could start benefiting from the system and the improvements that it had almost immediately, while we were still working with Strategenics in the background to keep refining and enhancing the system based on the feedback that we were getting from both the team as well as our customers. So yeah, we could keep working collaboratively on it while we had the product up and running.
Yeah. And so speaking of, the benefits and those kind of things, what impact has the new system had on your payroll operations today?
Yeah, it's been really significant for us. So we've had an improvement both in the efficiencies within the team, but also for the user experience as well. So a lot of the manual processes that we had are now eliminated. And as we know, manual processes are more error prone. So it does mean that we've got less errors. There's also a reduction in the amount of duplication of effort that we've got, and just overall has streamlined the way that we can operate as a national payroll team.
Nice. So this is always the interesting question, is that whenever you change anything within an organization, there's always pain. There's always some pain that sort of happens. So your customers were used to just emailing your inbox and you were getting back to them and all of that. And now all of a sudden you're introducing a portal. So how did you manage that change with your customers going from a shared inbox into JSM, and how difficult was that?
It actually turned out to be quite a simple process for us. So we have another area of the business that uses a similar portal. So there was a bit of familiarity there. But for us, we really just put an out of office reply on the inbox, warning them that we would be closing the inbox down and redirecting people to the Jira portal. We did that about 2 weeks out, and then we put a formal out of office saying, we're no longer monitoring the inbox. 9 times out of 10, we've sort of seen that people, when they emailed the inbox and have got that auto reply, they've actually gone straight to the portal and raised that request there. So it was really simple for us. There have been a few people that, are continuing to email, but for the most part, we've seen people just move straight across and adopt the new portal. So yeah, it was surprisingly simple.
All right, excellent. Now, as far as obviously we did that rapid work in there with you as well. And where is it here? We had, sorry, I just realized. Yeah, so really just there was a lot of transition and all of that kind of stuff. How did Strategic support you through that transition there?
Yeah, so the team from Strategics was really supportive. They listened to what we were needing and provided us solutions that meant that we could actually meet both our deadlines and our budget. Their responsiveness and expertise was really instrumental in setting us up for success and telling us when our ideas weren't going to work. So they really sort of directed us in ways that could get us to the desired outcome, which when you're dealing with a new system, you don't know what you don't know. So having that advice and support was really helpful for myself and the team as we went to implement a product to make sure that it would be successful.
Excellent. And I guess advice. So what advice would you give to other organizations considering a similar transformation?
Yeah, so I think definitely understand what the existing pain points are in your current processes, and really being able to articulate those when you're partnering with someone, so that they're fully aware of what's going on in your processes. And then, a knowledgeable and supportive team like Strategics is really key. You want someone that can help you get what you need from the business side, but also make it easy for you. We'd have a catch up with Ash and the team, raise our concerns or raise things that we wanted to do. And it was a really effective way of just partnering with them. As I said, that MVP approach, so, starting with sort of the base minimum viable product and being able to develop it over time, it was really beneficial because you're getting that real world feedback. You've got the customers in the portal and you've got your team working in it. And having that MVP approach means that you can take that feedback on and build on it straight away so that you're building on the product while you're implementing. So yeah, definitely they'd be some of the things that I'd say to consider.
Yeah, awesome. And so obviously we've been talking about the MVP approach and getting your customers and team in there and all of those kind of things. But obviously that's just the start of it. At the moment, what are your future plans? I guess you could say for now that you've got it there, what are you looking to go? I need to improve on and go from there.
Yeah. So I think now that we've used the Jira Service Management tool, we're looking at how we can further refine our processes to leverage the features that we have in there. So there's some more advanced features which we haven't turned on yet because we've sort of got that MVP approach going. But we're looking to see what we could bring into the future to continue to improve our efficiencies. So yeah, looking at some of the more advanced features, some more of that automation, but ideally just moving towards more operational efficiency for the benefits for us as a team, but also for our customers as well.
Excellent. So really that's, as far as those questions that we've had, that's been great. Thank you so much for sharing your insights. Is there anything else that you'd like to add?
I just think that we're really pleased with the outcome of the project, and I guess that customer experience and the fact that the customers have taken it, on so well. It just speaks to the tool and also the support that we've had from Strategics in helping us move our payroll operations forward. So we're really excited about the product and where it might take us in the future as we keep improving things.
Yep. Excellent. Well, look, yeah, thank you so much, Yvette, for sharing your experience with us. So now, what I'd like to do is I'd like to open up some time for Q&A. I have seen there's a couple of questions that have been posted in the chat. I think it's come through as a direct message to me, so I will read those out. But yes, see, Kit, we've got a question here from you that I hear JSM isn't the only tool on the market. What else did you consider, and why did JSM beat them to the punch?
Okay, so I think for us, we had an existing relationship with Strategics and JSM. So we have another area of our business that uses the JSM portal. So I think for us, that customer experience and having consistency across the operation was really important. And I guess, I wasn't involved in that original build of that dashboard, but from my perspective, what the product delivers and the ease of use for the customer is what's really stands out to me about JSM. We've got people that can go in there with very little guidance and be able to raise tickets successfully that our team can action and work on. So yeah, I think that's for me, the simplicity of the tool from all sides is one thing, but also Strategics are really great to work with as well. So yeah, would be keen to work with them again.
Thanks, Yvette. Oh, so it's just hope you can't hear the car just there. And now obviously since we've been working with you as well, there's the Atlassian. So there is a question here called any plans to use AI, but I'm just presenting that as Atlassian AI, Atlassian intelligence. So I guess, yeah, from your experience so far, have you had an opportunity to look at Atlassian intelligence, and have you had any opportunity to use that at all? And are there any plans?
So not something that we've looked at the moment. We do have all the automations currently built into some of our processes on the dashboard. And so that's been really handy for us. So I think anything like that sort of can continue to improve our operations and mean that we can take the time to deal with the more difficult questions, and it takes some of that, easy stuff that we can get the AI to do, then definitely would be things that we would consider in the future. But yeah, at the moment, what we're using in the dash in terms of the automation has really helped our operations. So yeah.
Yeah. So I think there's a little sub note as well. There's a new whole heap of stuff coming out with in the Atlassian stack, Rovo, all that stuff. So it's going to make it really exciting there as well. Still more questions from Kit here. So any mistakes or problems that you think others could learn from in all of this?
Yeah, so I mean, there was a few hiccups along the way. And I think having that MVP approach meant that we could actually fix them pretty much straight away. And if it wasn't something that was a fix or a problem that we had, it was just, oh, we're not sure how to navigate this. We had the Strategics team there and available to answer our questions during that time. So we could reach out and say, oh, we've just tried this, it's not working. And then we could get the guidance that we needed. And it was usually us misunderstanding something as opposed to there being anything broken with the tool. So I think, working collaboratively with the Strategics team to partner really helped us with any of those little glitches that we found. For the most part, though, because we were quite clear in the planning phase and we did a lot of test case scenarios with the team before we launched, we could find a lot of those problems within the team quickly. And then it was just refining them as we went along and launched it out to the business. Ash, not sure if you have anything from your side that you want to add there from the experience we had.
No, nothing to add specifically on top of what you've already said. So I think probably I guess it might be that other mistakes that maybe are in maybe other projects and sort of bringing into this one where it did work really well was that there's some of the things that can make your projects go longer is saying, look, I've got this big shopping list of things and I need to absolutely have it like this. And then you take that time to sort of go, oh, I need to build this out. And in some case, when you're doing a lot of planning and those kind of things, yes, it can work, but it really depends what you're after. So if you're after results quickly, doing that real kind of quick MVP thing is definitely definitely has its advantages. And as you said, we could find bumps along the way and fix them really quickly. But that all said, just for anybody who's watching the video, there was lots of planning. We still did everything was planned. It's just it was rapidly planned. And when we talked about things that went, oh, this is going to take a lot longer, and how much value does that add? That's where we went, hey, let's put that to the backlog. Let's focus on the smaller pieces that we get in there as well. Another question. Any fun discoveries or surprises you didn't expect and sparked joy?
Look, I think definitely the customer uptake and just people moving straight across to the service board was a huge surprise and joy for the team. We definitely thought that it was going to be a long and drawn out transition from the inbox across. But yeah, I've been amazed at how quickly the customers have just picked this up and run with it. So yeah, from a change management perspective, normally change management is a nightmare, as we all probably know, having implemented any change. But this one was just so smooth for our customers. And as I said, we still have a few people that want to keep using the inbox, but for the most part, everyone's just transitioned across, and it's been really, really great. So yeah, a lot of joy from that, definitely.
Yep. And I guess just with the another question here as well, I'm just going to work. So it was more around, yeah, how many agents, users, and like, so I guess customers are supported. So I guess approximately, like, what type of customers are supported in your portal. And as far as the implementation effort, which I think we've touched on before, but we can readdress. That's awesome. Yeah, so I guess, yeah, as far as the type of customers that you have.
Yeah, so we've got so all of our employees are our customers. So we've got probably roughly 2,500 people that we have at the university in various capacities that are using the Dash, as well as our HR team for a lot of the underlying changes that they need to make in the payroll side. So we sort of have two kind of streams of tickets that we have coming from those two different areas. And so that's kind of the business side. And then on our end, we've got a team of about 5 of us working through those tickets. And then we have the support of Ash and Hira, so 2 from Strategenics helping us do all the builds. So it's really manageable, and you can sort of jump in at different times in the day, assign your tickets to the team, and it gives people guidance on what they've got to get done, where they're up to. You can look and check things out. So it's a lot of transparency as well on the dashboard.
Yeah. And probably just and it may have been missed earlier, but yeah, as far as the implementation effort, with the MVP approach that we took, look, there were definite advantages of having JSM already in the organization. But yeah, basically from go to woe was that we looked at that 6-week mark. So that was essentially, we worked on our requirements in the first 2, then we built in the second 2. I mean, kind of did a bit of that throughout, but that was kind of our focus. And then the last phase was more launching and transitioning you guys into BAU. So you can work with that as well. All righty. Let's see some other questions. Does anybody else have any questions? I think, Kit, you've been amazing with sending all of these questions through. Okay. Yes, another question here. This time from Tim. Do you have any quantifiable improvements since moving from your inbox to the service desk?
Yeah, look, I suppose I haven't dug into the deep of the reporting. There is reporting available though, so we can actually present data to our leadership teams on how long tickets are taking us to resolve. We can actually show our employees where we're actually up to with certain tickets, which you can't do with an email. So once you pick up a ticket, you can move it across to work in progress, and they've got that ticket reference so that they don't need to keep sending emails. They can just keep using that one ticket for all of the issues that they've got. So for us, it's just kind of streamlined a lot of our things, so that we can actually move through things a lot quicker in the pay run. So no specific quantifiable that I can quote to on the call today, but there's definitely been an improvement in the way that we've operated as a team. And then also there's that reporting available to us now, which we wouldn't have had previously in the inbox, which is then able to be spoken to management about. And as we look to fix things, we can use that data to really help us streamline our processes further.
Cool. I have another question that I haven't asked yet. That's probably more around onboarding and scalability. So I know since we've implemented it, you've had some new people come into the team, and they weren't involved in the project. So I was just curious to sort of go, look, as far as the system, for onboarding, how how difficult or easy was it to bring your staff on board? And I guess from, if you had to add 5 more people, say, to your team tomorrow, how would you see it see that being? How would you see that rolling out?
Yeah, so it's a really intuitive system. And so with our new starters, when they've joined, they've been able to pick it up with very little training. So the training has more been around how we respond to queries and just making sure they're clicking in the right places. But as far as, understanding on how to use the tool, it's quite a simple tool to just pick up and go with. And I think that's where, not only for the team, but for the customers, it's worked really well. They can just, pick up the tool quite simply and raise a ticket. And then being able to respond to the tickets also been quite simple. So for anyone considering using Jira, it is a very intuitive system. And so my team's, been able to jump in and pick that up quite quickly, which has been really great.
Excellent. Thanks, Yvette. We might if anybody else has any other questions, feel free to unmute, share your camera, feel free to ask. Otherwise, we might move on to the next piece. Okay, cool. All right, so let's move on then to the next slide. So one of the things I always like to do. So we have put this webinar out for an hour, but we're all busy, right? So really, this brings us to the end of the session. So once again, Yvette, thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate it. We're definitely going to be sharing this on our social webs, as they say professionally. So thank you very much. Also, for anybody else who is watching, if you're interested in checking out more around, what Strategics do, we're not just Atlassian. We do a lot of strategy and transformation and AI and a lot of those kind of things as well. So we've got our list of events up there. You can go to our website and have a look at the events, see if there's one that suits your level of interest. As mentioned, these are more the Atlassian focused ones there as well. But that really brings us to a close. So look, I just want to say thank you very much for attending. Have a wonderful day wherever you've joined from, and thank you all.
Thanks, everyone.
Cheers. Bye.
Thank you.